Hello, my dear students. I welcome you all to today's English class. You all know this is Rohan sir from Mahdi English Medium School, and daily I bring you the interesting English lectures containing the explanation of lessons, containing the theory part of the lessons, revision of the lessons, and etc. etc. Similarly, if you have watched my previous video lecture, you might be knowing that now we have headed towards the theory part of our English lesson 1 and 3, which I have already explained you. So students, in the previous lecture I gave you the theory objective of lesson number 3, and I hope that you all have jotted down the theory part of lesson number 3 in your fair notebooks or in your rough notebooks. You know students, this is very much helpful to you, because otherwise in the class you don't hear too much to your teachers, but here you have to only listen to us, and because of that you may get the chance, you may get the advantage of enhancing your listening skills, because as much as you try to listen to English, you try to speak, and then overall your English will be improved. So the main thing is, whenever I ask you to repeat the answers, you have to do it as far as your speaking knowledge is concerned, so that at least you can enhance that skills. Anyways, so let us quickly see what is our today's objective in English class. The content for today's lecture will be, students, you need to carry the pencil and a book as we did in the previous lecture, because you all know that we have headed towards the theory part, that you need to write it down as and when the lecture is going on your TV screens or in your mobile screens. So make sure you don't take extra time, because if you will complete this in this much part, in this much time limit, then you don't have to write it again after watching the video. So I will keep the time gap, I will repeat the answers, I will repeat the questions and explain you in a way that you will get the time in between each answers to write it down in your notebook. Yes, you have to increase your speed a bit, not very much, but a bit. You need to increase your speed. You need to write swiftly. So I suggest you first to write in a rough notebook and then to write in a fair notebook with a legible writing. Rather than to just note it down, you can write with a legible writing. So yes, if you feel that the lecture is fast, you may write in the rough book. That is up to you. I leave that choice up to you. The ball is in your court now. So we need to write it down, that is for sure. And at last I will send you PDF. So if I'll send you PDF now, you are not going to write it down, I know that. So at the end of 3 lessons, including 1 poem, I'll send you PDF at the end. So do not demand me to do that. Yes, we need to do hard work. So here our today's content will be writing part, objective and subjective of lesson number 1 and 3. In previous lecture, first I gave lesson number 3's content, in which I have written lesson number 1. But still you need to understand by reading the content that this is the content of lesson number 3, not lesson number 1. Lesson number 1 as in our video lecture theory part lesson 1, not actually from textbook lesson 1. So anyways, just work it out yourselves. Okay, so let's move on. Make sentences. Now you can write this heading in a new page. Like in the previous lecture also, I informed you that every new heading should be in a new page, unless if I give you 2 to 3 line content of single heading, then you can just leave 2 lines and you can start with another heading. But if it's better that you write every different heading, every new heading in a new page with new page, so that your work will be clean, neat and clean. Even if you want to write something related to that thing, we will be having the space at the end of the content. Anyways, make sentences from new page. You know how to give the heading. Now I will explain you. I will give you 2 options for each make sentences. Otherwise, make sentence means you have to make the sentence on your own. But as you are in the 2nd standard, I will give you make sentences, but I'll suggest you to make your own sentences that will show your composition skills. Number 1, mother. Now this is the word on which you need to make the sentence. Now I have made 2 sentences for you. First one, see, as soon as you see the answer on your TV screen, start writing, and at the same time you need to listen to me as well, because your ears don't have to write anything. So I have written the answer, I love my mother very much. Here I have underlined the word mother. Why? Because on this particular word we need to use the sentence. With this we need to make the sentence. So you too have to underline the word on which you have made the sentence, so as to highlight that word. The answer I have written for make sentence number 1 is, I love my mother very much. The second option is, as here you can see on your TV screens, mother is the best friend of child. You know, father, they have to go outside for the business, for the job, for earning purpose, but mother is all the time home. Whether you go to school, whether you come back from the school, you return back to home, whether you go to tuition classes, you come back from it, whatever, every time mother is there for you. You have the back of your mother, the support of your mother every time. So this is what according to me the answer is. So I repeat 2 sentences. Meanwhile you can just write any one. Yes, it is not necessary to write both of them, you can write any one. First sentence is, I love my mother very much, in which we use the word mother properly. The second is, mother is the best friend of a child. So let's turn the page and see on the second meaning is, second make sentence is on milk. Now you need to know the meaning of every word before you make the sentence. Like first, mother, it is a noun, so no need for the meaning. Second, milk, again no need for the meaning. You all know what is milk, the meaning of milk. Either you might be knowing that the milkman delivers the milk to your house, correct? So either you have that polythene of milk, or you have that milkman service. There are lots of resources for it. So milk everyone knows, even the nursery students might be knowing. So let's just see what can we make out of the word milk. The first sentence I have made is, I drink milk every day, because I have the habit of drinking the milk. So I have made this sentence from my daily life, that I drink milk every day. This is a very simple sentence in which we have used the word milk. And the second sentence I have made is, milk is a wholesome food. Means milk has a lot of vitamins within. So milk is a wholesome food. So you can choose either of the sentences if you want. I drink milk every day. Milk is a wholesome food. I repeat both the sentences so that you can get the time to write either of them. I drink milk every day. Milk is a wholesome food. Okay, I hope you understood this, and I hope that you written any one at least. Moving on, the third make sentence word is market, on which you have to make the sentence. Market, you might have visited to market, isn't it? With your father, with your mother, with your elder brother or sisters. So market means the place where you get everything, correct? There might be the supermarket also, there might be types of the market, but in general market, if we refer to as, we get many things, we get all the things in the market, whether it is a footwear, whether it is a clothes, whether it is a hat, etc., etc., playing games and varieties of things we get in the market, correct? So I have made first sentence, we went to the market yesterday. If for suppose, this is general sentence, this is not a truth. Whether even if you have not gone to market, that doesn't mean that you cannot write this sentence. So it is just a sentence where we have to use market. You can make on your own even, but it should be grammatically correct. Second sentence I have made is, there were varieties of shops in the market. So like I said, you can get varieties of mobile shop, you can get varieties of video game shop, you can get varieties of footwear shop, and etc etc, endless list of things. So these are the two sentences. I will repeat once more so that you can just write it down, anyone. First sentence I have made is, we went to the market yesterday. Second sentence, there were varieties of shops in the market. See, why am I explaining you these all things? So that you can get the time to write, and at the same time you will get the knowledge of that word. Okay, moving on. Fourth one, golden. Now it is not necessary that you use this form only. You can use gold, you can use golden. Yes, that is up to you, but the gold should be there, the base word should be there. So our first sentence I have made using the same word is, the hen laid golden eggs. If you remember the story of Jack, yes, in that the giant's hen laid the golden eggs on the command of giant. So golden eggs. Second word, my mom gifted me gold chain. Sometimes it happens, no, on your birthdays. Sometimes you get the toys, sometimes you get the clothes, sometimes you get the ornaments. It depends. So it is not like that only the girls get the gold chain. No, even the boys get the gold bracelet and gold lockets and etc etc. So these are two sentences. I will repeat both of them so you can just get the time to write one of it. The first sentence I have made is, the hen laid golden eggs, in which we have underlined golden again because you have used that word. You need to show that you have used that word. The second sentence is, my mom gifted me golden or gold chain. Either of them will work. So I have again underlined gold so that you can easily highlight that you have used that word in the sentence. So it is easy for us to check, and it looks in the presentation wise also looks good. Moving on to the fifth word, breakfast. Some of you have the habit of calling it as fast, breakfast. It is not wrong, it is right. I call it breakfast. First, breakfast. Okay. The first sentence on it is, I had Maggie in my breakfast. So it depends. Sometimes on Sundays you feel to eat like, these kind of food for the breakfast. So yeah, regularly if you consume these kind of things, Maggie and pasta and etc etc, these will surely damage your stomach, will make your stomach upset now and then. So yeah, this is just, you have to make the sentence. So I have just made it breakfast using breakfast. It depends, you can add any variety. You might not have eaten Maggie, you might have eaten any other thing. You can add any other thing, you can replace Maggie with any other thing. Choices are yours now. The second sentence I have made is, we should eat healthy breakfast, or we should have healthy breakfast. Both will work. So here, healthy, why? Because it is said that this is a proper diet. You need to eat healthy breakfast and then a bit low healthy lunch, and then in a dinner you should eat light food. So this is how the hierarchy is. Anyways, I will repeat it again so you can just write it down, anyone. The first sentence is, I had Maggie in my breakfast. I have underlined breakfast, if you can see. Second sentence is, we should eat healthy breakfast. Okay. Moving on to question answers of lesson number 3. Here, just write the answers because questions you have in your textbook PDF, which I have already sent in your groups. I repeat, just jot it down, the answers in your books, because questions you have in the textbook PDF file, which is there in your WhatsApp groups. So you can just write it down from there. Okay, question 1, I will read it for you. Where did giant's wife hide Jack? So where did she hide Jack? The giant's wife hid Jack in the oven. If you remember, when Jack was insisting for the food, and at that time giant's wife alerted him that any time giant would arrive and you need to hide yourself. And at that time giant arrived and house trembled, and suddenly they had to find the place where the Jack can hide himself. So here the giant's wife hid Jack in the oven in the kitchen area. So this is the answer. I'll repeat one more time so you can write the answer. The giant's wife hid Jack in the oven. One more time I'll repeat it for you so you can just write it down. The giant's wife hid Jack in the oven. Okay? Fine. I'll just move the page, and the second question is here. What did the giant do with his golden harp? Harp, I hope students you remember harp was the musical instrument. Yes. So harp is the musical instrument, you know that, and I hope you've written the answer. And the giant ordered golden harp to sing, and as soon as I display the answer you just write it down and also listen at the same time. So what did the giant do with his golden harp? Answer is the giant ordered golden harp to sing. Means obviously if you know that when I explained you the lesson that harp is a musical instrument, right? So giant, what did he do? For the first time, you see Jack, when he went, he just he took the golden eggs and the hen from that basket, and for the second time when the Jack went there, he saw that there is a golden harp. When ordered, the harp used to sing and play the music at the same time on its own. That was again magical and golden too. So what did the giant do with his golden harp? The giant ordered the golden harp to sing. Moving on, question number 3. What was the name of Jack's cow? Now you all know that because we have been discussing this in FB, CF, everything, every objective meaning, even in if you remember that in the lesson many a times in the starting part especially the name is there. So what was the name of Jack's cow? Answer is Milky White was the name of Jack's cow. So Milky White is the only new word. The remaining sentence is from the question itself. Was the name of Jack's cow. So use this smartness. Don't try to copy each and everything. Use your smartness that half of the answer is from the question only. Correct. You just need to replace who, whom, what, why, etc., etc. So answer, I'll repeat it again. Milky White was the name of Jack's cow. Yes, one more thing which I need to tell you is make sure Milky White, M and W both should be capital, as it is a name of cow, proper noun. Secondly, Jack's cow. Here J should be capital because Jack is again a proper noun. These all things matters in English answers. Otherwise, there are the chances that you will lose your marks. Moving on, question number 4. Whom did Jack sell his cow? You all know. This is also from the starting part of the scene of the lesson. So the answer is Jack sold his cow to an old man. Yes, if you remember that old man gave Jack 5 bean seeds, correct? From which the beanstalk grew. So Jack sold his cow to an old man. This is the correct answer. I will repeat one more time so that you can just write it down. So the answer is Jack sold his cow to an old man. Okay, let us move on. The next thing which we are going to start is lesson number 1. So obviously students, lesson number 1 you are going to start with a new page. I repeat, lesson number 1 again you are going to start with new page as you are doing in the, see, if you start the new heading or new lesson, you have to start every time with a new page, because that will make a good impression in your book. That will look much more legible, and we can say neatly you will be able to write everything, leaving 1 or 2 lines as per your convenience. And so lesson number 1 also you need to write the name of the lesson, but afterwards. So that is why I gave you the suggestion to write in your rough book for now while the lecture is going on. So the first heading for lesson number 1 is meanings, because hard words I have already given to you. So meanings, number 1, buzzing. answer is, now repeat the answers with me students, 3 times repeat and write it once. Buzzing, the answer is making a humming sound. Second time, buzzing, answer is making a humming sound. Okay, third time we will repeat, and I hope you have written it once at least. Buzzing, making a humming sound. So make sure that you write the spelling of humming properly, because many of you I have seen in the previous year also, they have the problem with this spelling. So this is the reason why I am emphasizing on this word humming. It is not humming, it is humming. Pronunciation also should be very much clear to you. Moving on, drove. Drove, the answer is forced the fly to leave. Like in this lesson, drove means forced the fly to leave. Okay, so as you know that drove means not exactly what it is written here, but for this lesson, forced the fly to leave. You know that tiny Issun-Boshi drove the fly from the ear of Lord Sanjo, because the fly was sitting near the ear of Lord Sanjo. So this was the first time when Issun-Boshi made his good impression, created his good impression in front of Lord Sanjo. So moving on, the next one is pleased. So the answer is happy. Again, pleased, answer is happy. Third time, pleased, the answer is happy. He is pleased with you, he is happy with you, or he is pleased by your performance, he is happy by your performance. So you can use it on your own so as to remember the meaning of the word. Moving on to the fourth one is samurai. Answer is a Japanese soldier. I repeat it second time. I hope you are repeating the answers at least, my dear students. Samurai, answer is a Japanese soldier. Third time I would like to repeat, samurai, answer is a Japanese soldier. Okay, a Japanese soldier. Make sure J should be capital, because it is a proper noun. You are referring to some country. Moving on, lesson number 1, true or false. Meanings we have done. Now we are moving on to the true or false section, where you have to write the sentence as well. So start writing as soon as you see the sentence on your screen. The boy was named Issun-Boshi. What was the name of tiny boy? Obviously he was named Issun-Boshi by his father. Issun-Boshi means 1 inch, correct? Because he was 1 inch warrior. So the statement is true statement. I repeat one more time. The boy was named Issun-Boshi. Statement is true statement. Make sure Issun-Boshi, I should be capital, B should be capital in his surname. Okay, so I and B both should be capital, as it is a proper noun. So the boy was named Issun-Boshi. Statement is true statement. Moving on to the second one. Issun-Boshi wished to go to the city to play. Is it so? No, it is not like that. Actually he wished to go to city to work there, correct? So this is a wrong statement only because here they have written that he wanted to go to city to play. No, exactly he wanted to go to city to work hard there and to make his own goodwill. So Issun-Boshi wished to go to the city to play. Statement is false. I repeat one more time. Issun-Boshi wished to go to city to play. No, so statement is false. He did not want to go to play there, rather he wanted to work hard and make his goodwill there. Third one is Issun-Boshi sailed to the city in a cup. Wait, this is something wrong, isn't it? He sailed to the city, that is true. He went to the waterways, but he did not use cup. What did he use? He used bowl, a soup bowl, correct? Because his father gave him sword made from the needle, sewing needle, and his mother gave him the soup ball from for which he used it as a boat. So cup is incorrect. Here it should be bowl, then it was true, but here it is cup, so this statement is false statement. Moving on to the fourth one. Lord Sanjo had a beautiful house. Isn't it so? Lord Sanjo had a beautiful house. Actually, he had a beautiful house. So if you have seen my video lectures of explanation of lesson number 1, you might be knowing that how beautiful house he was having. Almost of size of mansion, we can call it, a big house, big villa. Correct? So he was having the most beautiful house in that town actually. So this statement is true statement. So I repeat it for you once more, so that you can just write it down. Lord Sanjo had a beautiful house. Statement is true. He had a beautiful house. One more time I'll repeat. Lord Sanjo had a beautiful house. The statement is true. So I hope by now you have written, because every time either twice or thrice I am repeating it. That is sufficient enough for you. And the last TF for this lesson is Issun-Boshi fought with giant. Isn't it so? Yes, he fought with giant to save Princess Sanjo. If you remember, Princess Sanjo was on her way to temple along with Lord Sanjo, who was a caretaker of Princess Sanjo. Sorry, along with Issun-Boshi, who was a caretaker of Princess Sanjo. So Lord Sanjo actually gave Issun-Boshi the duty of to take care of or to look after Princess Sanjo, so that Princess Sanjo is safe in all ways. So when the Princess Sanjo was on her way to temple, the giant came to kidnap her. So Issun-Boshi saved Princess Sanjo by fighting with the giant. So the statement is true, as the statement says that Issun-Boshi fought with giant. Yes, statement is true statement, because Issun-Boshi, even though he was 1 inch, just 1 inch, he had the guts to fight with the giant, and that was the second time he proved that he is a brave. Unlike his size, no matter what the size was, he was still brave enough to save princess from every upcoming, or you can say the unavoidable circumstances. He was able to save. First he proved, we should say, to Lord Sanjo by using his small tiny sword to drove the fly, and second time he proved himself by using that same sword and beating the giant using that tiny sword. So this is how he proved that he was a brave, though he was very tiny in height. And then, if you remember, my dear students, he eventually grew his height because he got a magical hammer from that giant who left behind that hammer. So my dear students, thanks for watching the video. I hope that you are noting down all the things. See, if you have left out anything, I will just show you what have we done in today's lecture. In today's lecture, my dear students, for the first, we started make sentences of lesson number 3, and then there were 5 make sentences. We jumped on to question answers, and there were exactly 4 question answers. I gave you sufficient time to write the answers, and I told you don't write questions, because questions are already there in PDF file after a textbook. And then we started with lesson number 1, in which I told you that hard words I have already given you. So I gave you the meanings. The 4 meanings were there in lesson number 1, and then true or false. So there were 5 true or false in lesson number 1. So this was just for you to verify your content, whether you written it properly or not. In case if you have missed out writing anything, nothing to worry. You know that you get the link of everything in your groups. So I hope that you will complete your theory part, and make sure that whenever you write in the fair book, you will maintain the format which I already explained you in the previous lectures. Header, footer, everything, the content, the capitalization, everything you need to take care of while you're writing in the fair book. That's all for today's lecture. And yes, lastly, stay safe, use sanitizer and masks, stay safe, and keep your family also safe. Goodbye. Wait for the other lecture with the interesting theory part. Goodbye.